Okay, everybody, hello and welcome. Welcome to Ask the King. This is the pre-stream. It's going to be not a very long one. Pretty, decently short one because I would like to jump right into Ask the King. We do have roughly around 2 hours of Ask the King coming, maybe a little shorter. It all depends on how elaborate I get in my answers. Today we're going to have some very, very highly popular questions that have been coming up recently that I'm going to address. We've got some specific questions we're going to address. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. Okay? A lot of stuff to talk about. And I apologize we couldn't do this last week when I wanted to do it. I wanted to do it last week on Thursday. Unfortunately, when my freaking website crashes and we lose the forums, it's a little hard to stay on track with the scheduling. But just so you guys know, as an FYI, okay, the next Ask the King is going to be, hold on, tentatively right now I believe it's set for September 18th. That is actually 4 weeks from today. And it actually is mid-September. And it's right in the middle. It's the perfect week because that 1 week of September, there's only one release that I know of. And it looks like it may be a slower week for that. And it might be the perfect time for it. Keep in mind, as we move into the hardcore gaming season, that things, get hectic. That there's going to be spans of weeks, if not months, where every week I have multiple game releases that I want to check out. And therefore, it's going to be harder and harder to do consistent vlogging. If you remember last year, for a while, the vlogging kind of died out because I was so busy with the gameplay content. Okay? So we're going to see what happens. I'm going to do my best to try to stay consistent and to consistently do things like Ask the King, like Hate Live, even game reviews. But I can't make you guys a promise, being that this is literally stacking up to be one of the busiest, if not the busiest hardcore gaming season I've ever covered since I've been making videos. Seriously. There's that much coming out. There's that much, lined up that it's just absolutely out of control. Starting as early as next week. In fact, once you start hearing some of the stuff I have to talk about early on the Ask the King tonight about next week, you're going to be like, holy shit. So, yeah, it's beginning early. It's actually beginning early this year, and it looks like it's going to run long, if you know what I mean. So, alright. So, there we are. I'm going to be getting started with momentarily here, just a few minutes, and then we're going to get started. I do not want to do a long pre-stream because I've got tons of questions. I've got hot topics. I've got good news. I've got bad news. For some of you, you're going to be like, yeah, that's awesome. And others are going to be like, ah, fuck, that's terrible news. So there's a lot of stuff coming up in Ask the King that you're definitely going to want to see this episode. If you can't stick around for it, I definitely recommend you watch it on YouTube. The King of Hate Vlogs is my YouTube channel where I upload all of my vlogging. And you definitely should check it out because it is going to be probably one of the most interesting episodes of Ask the King I've done so far. Okay? Alrighty then. So it's a lovely day here in Washington. In fact, it is since I've moved here, okay? Since I moved here, not even kidding you, this is the coolest day it's been. It's in the 60s today. Every day that since I've moved here in the month of June has been 70 degrees or warmer. Today was in the 60s. It's gorgeous. I love it. Just to give you some perspective compared to the rest of the summer, I'm in my office. The window is closed. It's not even opened. There's no fan in the room. No fans are running in the office, and the shade is down. So it is actually nice and cool enough for me to sit in here comfortably. It's not hot. It doesn't feel like an oven. It's nice. And I'm hoping that this is what the fall is going to end up being like with this hardcore gaming season, that, the temperatures stay around this and I can be nice and cool in here. And, of course, in the winter, when it gets cold, and it might actually be cold in here, I'll be wearing all kinds of luxurious robes, huge mink sweaters. I'll be smoking a pipe in here. I'll be looking like one of those guys from, like, Masterpiece Theater. So, of course, because that is my lifestyle. As you all know, that is how I live. Okay? So anyway, I'm excited for Ask the King. I hope that you guys are excited too. Thanks for being here on the stream. You know I love doing this show. This is one of my favorite things that I do because I get to directly answer your questions and concerns. There were a lot of commonalities in the questions this month that I'm going to address. And, there's some things that are commonalities that I'm going to be honest, I skipped. There's a few things that are going on right now that are like, popular things to talk about, and it's ridiculous because it's so stupid in a lot of cases, and in other cases it's just for publicity. And I'm going to address the things that I feel, number one, I definitely could give you intelligent answers and or feedback on. Number two, that may be pertinent to me. I am not going to be addressing these, the hottest thing on the internet right now is to strip completely naked and pour fucking Jello on your head and it raises awareness. Yeah, it raises awareness, all right. Awareness that you're a fucking view whore and you're trying to get popularity instead of just donating. This is what I don't get about these fads, right? So I'll talk about it on pre-stream so we don't have to talk about it on Ask the King. This ice bucket challenge that's going on right now, all right? So if I'm to understand it right, and I could be wrong, the premise is that it raises awareness for some kind of a disease or something. ALS, I don't even know what that stands for. Alzheimer's, I don't even know, okay? But if you get challenged, you're either supposed to make a donation of $100, I think it is, or dump ice on your head on camera, and then you make a donation of $10. Now, first of all, I don't even understand the premise. Why? How does this even make sense? Is it funny to see someone dump ice on their head? I don't think that's funny. I think that's fucking stupid. Right? It doesn't make any sense. And for me, I'm going to give you guys my honest feeling. I am a fan of charity and charitable contributions, okay? And I do donate. I do, during the course of every year, find a few charities that I donate to. Now, you're going to notice something. This is the very first time I've ever even mentioned that. You notice that I don't go on camera and tell you that I am donating to this charity and blah, blah, blah. No, because charity is not something that should be exploited. It is not something that should be promoted to try to make someone look good or to make it, you know what I mean? Charity for me is, okay, you see someone on the street, they need help, you help them out of the kindness of your heart because you want to help someone. Okay, there's a really strong cause, and so behind the scenes, maybe I'll toss a couple bucks a year because I can and because I really feel strongly about something. Now, so now I'm going to do a whole video series where I'm dumping shit on my head to get views, and I'm going to say, this is all in good fun because it raises awareness for the charity. That's not me. That's not me, and that's not who I am. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it wouldn't raise money, of course. But guess what? If I'm going to do charity, I'll do it my own way. I'll do it off camera, and I'll do it in a professional manner. Not that I'm doing it to try to get popularity. And really, when you look at the people who are stepping up and doing this challenge, that's pretty much what it is. Oh, look at me. I'm going to dump ice on my fucking head under the premise that it's for charity, but really, take a look at this. I'm part of this popular movement. And, no. If you want to raise money, just donate. You don't need to have a bucket of a stupid fad to do it and get yourself popularity, right? It is dumb. It's like that Harlem Shake fad. It's like all these other fads. I'm not part of them. I don't care about that shit. All these people, and they're like, if you get nominated, you must do it. What? Who the fuck tells me what to do? That's like saying, you must donate to this charity. No, I donate to charity. I already did this year. I already did actually 3 times at different parts of the year when I could afford it. No, I'm not going to go out of my way again and do it, just because you demand that I must donate to a certain cause. It's ridiculous. So, I understand, listen, social media, these big fads and stuff, they catch on. I understand why it would become popular. I understand why it is. It's not my thing. It's not my cup of tea. I do my own stuff in my own way. You aren't going to hear me, Phil's going to cover his body with peanut butter and then run into a field full of wild dogs to raise awareness for animal PETA or something. You know what I mean? No. If I'm going to do charity, I do it my own way, and I'm not going to do it just because it's popular. I don't do things just because they're popular. I do things because they seem interesting, okay? And this does not seem interesting to me. It doesn't, okay? So anyway, that is it. Let's end the pre-stream. Now that is out of the way, and now we don't have to talk about it anymore, I can actually get on to valid questions and valid, interesting things to talk about during Ask the King, okay? All right, so let's end the pre-stream, and then we're going to get started with today's show. I thank you for joining me, and let's get this show on the road. Very good.